Hello, and welcome back to some Bloodborne. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Hope everyone is having a good one. Yeah. What a great intro. An incredible display of skill. What an incredible display of skill. Anyway, yeah, it's weird, because, like, I'm now getting to that stage where I'm doing so much in my spare time again. Doesn't feel like it's been, like, less than a day since I was on stream again. It's felt like a long time. Yes, by the way, I'm just gonna do some pig farming to wake up. Yell at me if you want. It's not like it's gonna do much. We're fighting Bornes now. Which means that at most I can get more health so he doesn't hit me as hard. Well, theoretically hit me as hard. But, yeah. Oh, I hope everyone's had some good stuff. I'm here. Hey, Banky, how's it going? Video's done? Nice. I hope the thing I sent you worked out well for it. I also hope you enjoyed the, what basically constitutes his bloopers. So, Banky now actually has a better understanding of what it's like whenever I go to record a video. You have probably the best understanding now of what it's like if I'm gonna do my shorts again. So that is actually how I sound when doing recordings. Or like, how I talk during recordings. It's very, interesting. Did my best to use it in the funniest way possible. Good. Got your project building properly? Nice, Roger. Nice. Oh. Also, now that there's been some time for people to mull it over, I saw some responses, but if there's been any more fancy or new ideas towards what could be done for the emotes for YouTube, let me know. I haven't started doing much more than what I wrote up there during stream yesterday and what I talked about on stream yesterday. Keep in mind I'm limited to 4 and I kind of want to keep them very generic for the first 4. And then I can get more later down the line to do more niche jokes. I do want to do a Vaporeon joke. I know you pointed that out, Roger. That's probably going to be a little bit further in, but it's there. Like, it was one of the first things I thought of as well. Okay, well, apparently I'm not getting backstabs easily then. Like, I'm just sitting wrong on the fucking stairs. Let's see. And then, some converts, Make it load resources from thing. So I can actually see the stuff. Then I have to make it take anything you put enough on it. On for the game. And package it so you can place it in the game data folder next. Use the command line icons to control what it's doing and when. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm sure you've got like all of the security checks done with that, right? If you're doing those sorts of arguments. So you don't come against like potential oh, it's too early in the morning for me to do this. Authority issues. Is basically where I'm going. I assume you've got all the stuff in place so you don't have authority issues. As soon as you're doing manipulation like that. No security stuff yet? Alright. Do keep in mind that some fucking users might have an issue with that, so you got some stuff you might need to do with it. Said it too earlier, but you want to help me think some stuff? Go for it. Send it my way, like fucking yell at me, all that. See how much I can figure out. It's the best way for me to wake up is I remember turning up to the office and going like, hey, I need to think right now. I gotta do that quick. Let's start doing the stuff to think. That's why I got really good at explaining my thoughts in a real hodgepodge way, because that way it means it's like, look, I might not explain it perfectly, but at least I get my idea down. Anything that instances HTTP or web there warns you if you're not continue loading it. Yeah, like I was gonna say, that's another thing you gotta do error check for is what is the rule of thumb? Always accommodate for the error that occurs between the computer and the user. It's where the largest amount of errors occur. And that was a nice run. Anyone wondering what I mean by that statement, in case you don't know, it's a common IT joke of how realistically, the vast majority of errors that occur are user-generated errors where they are just idiots and do something really stupid and use something for unintended purposes. So therefore we call it between user error, or between computer and user error, because it's between when the user and the computer are interacting. Basically, don't be dumb. Set up your program so they can't be too dumb. It's always an important one. Let's see. Making a skill tree, cool. I'll read that in a second once I'm not so I can actually give you a proper answer. Not get eaten by a pig. There we go. Alright. Let's see. I'm making a skill tree for a TTRPG character. I need an idea for a passive or active skill that would be based around light magic as well as strength and sun arcana. What is a good answer to that? So when you're saying strength and Sun Arcana, so are we talking offensive capabilities? Are we talking defensive? Are we talking... Like, what is roughly the character kinda doing with these sorts of things? That's my immediate question. Also, you can see that someone added adding is connecting to something external. Game can't see. Basically, yo, this file's calling something online. Might want to check. Yeah, exactly. Like that's again, that's what I mean by reducing that kind of error. Air grinding third day in a row. What is the plan for today? So I'm just gonna do this while I'm like again getting feel for controller in hand and shit like that. And kind of, this is what I do every morning for a reason when we start. We're gonna be fighting Lawrence today, at minimum. If we can, we will finish today. I have no guarantees on that. We go until we finish. Then once Bloodborne is finished, we go and play Final Fantasy. That is genuinely, that's why the schedule has Bloodborne / Final Fantasy on it. Let's see. Sun Arcana is based around strong buffs for themselves and one ally at the same time. Strength Arcana is conjuring up stuff from light that will help offensively. Thank you. That's what I need to know for making a good answer to that. I actually do kind of agree with Roger. That's always an interesting one. Having, so in the current simulated universe, Divergent universe stuff that happens in Star Rail, they actually have a day-night cycle, sort of. It's at the beginning of day, you heal and get your day buffs, and then at the beginning of night, you get, I think just everything does increase damage, including the enemy. But you can attune how much day or night there will be, and you can get buffs for daytime or nighttime specifically. You can make some that are buffs during both times. You can make them like not reset, basically, is one of the big ones. Stuff like that. I can put forward some ideas based on some of that. My question is, do you, for example, have anything that would cost health to use? Because that's always an interesting one. Let's see. That sounds good. Let's see. Just how the moon blocks the sun, but it lets its light bleed around it. The buff no longer hits the caster, but instead is better for everyone else. Ooh, that's actually a very interesting idea. Yeah, like make it fractured a little bit, in a sense. Because the moon is the sun's reflection. This will be an ultimate passive ability for the Sun Arcana, then will give buff depending on time of day. Well, I mean, at that point in time, you're Escanor, right? Just do something like kind of similar to Escanor, where the closer you are to noon or exact sun up, the like lower damage you would take, or and the more damage you deal. But then also the inverse is true. Escanor's half the inspiration? Nah, it makes sense. But it also, like, yeah, you could actually have it warp your personality a little bit when the event is occurring, right? I mean, you could add a passive like that really easily at a low level, and then just have it so, at higher levels, you get it at night as well, still, but not as potently. And you get a more potent version during the day. Like, you could genuinely just make it a plus damage to a roll. I don't know, like, initially have it as a +3, I guess, to certain rolls, and then have it as eventually, like, a +6. And have threshold points for it all. And then just make it so you get, like, additional AC, I guess, or whatever equivalency, inside that environment. But that, again, like, that goes against what kind of Roger was saying as well, is, like, that's really linear. And that doesn't really leave room for an interesting skill expression. Alpha damage sounds nice. So, my soft thing, give me a minute, I'll look it up. Like, go, if you want to, look up, what's his name? The dude that looks like Gilgamesh in Star Rail at the moment, the blonde dude with the tattoos. I'm blanking on his name at this moment. But, like, think around maybe his kit and the things he gets for the Divergent Universe. I'll look it up now. I'll go back to the Hunter's Dream and look it up for you now. That I actually have the... I'm not doing the thing. Okay, give me a hot second. I'll open up a new tab. And reduce the size of this so I can see it easily. No, that's not the wiki I want. I want the one that I use. Where is it? So I think it's in the guide section. Hold on. Portals or gates? No. Give me a second. I will pull up the character I'm talking about, though. Cause he's literally, so I'll explain. Mighty is his name. The character, so he looks like Gilgamesh. It's not Gilgamesh. It is really not Gilgamesh. He just looks like what Gilgamesh kind of looks like. Let me window capture Mighty. So I'll have to explain a lot of stuff because it's not going to be very evident because there's no visuals on the site. But here's Mighty. This is what I mean by he looks like Gilgamesh. And that's a guide stuff for him. That doesn't really matter. Point is, let's go to this. So we'll ignore, this is his basic attack. He does base damage based on his max HP because he's a big HP boy. But here's his skill. This is a great example. So normally a skill would just be you cost like one of the skill points. So his also consumes amount equal to 50% of the current HP, deals percentage damage equal to 90% of his max HP, and then he can go reduce his thing. The reason why this matters is that he actually has in his talent, for each 1% of HP loss, accumulate 1 point of charge, up to 200. When it's at 100, consume 100 points, and then enter a state. Restoring health, advances action, so he gets to attack immediately because it's turn-based. While it's active, max HP is increased by 50%, and defense remains at 0. At the start of his turn, automatically uses Kingslayer Be King. I'll show that in a second. When it reaches 150 during the state, he immediately gets 1 extra turn and automatically uses Godslayer be God. And then when receiving a killing blow during this time, he'll not be knocked down, he'll just clear his state, and he'll restore to 50%. So the two versions, so we've got Kingslayer and Godslayer, right? So we've got Kingslayer here, which is consume a lot less health, but do a fuckload more damage. This one looks really fucking cool. And then Godslayer, consume points, deal a fucking even more amount of damage, and go from there. Again, I'm using this as a soft reference point of some of this. I'll see if I can see the animations in here, in this video.
Hey, Myba here. I've been working out, as well as working out, everything to know about Mighty. There are a few problems I have with it.
I don't really give a shit about your opinions. I'm looking for visuals. No. Okay, you're not gonna give me visuals, so I'm gonna look up, my day animations. Because they'll also give you a better feeling for what the fuck, I'm talking about. Now, again, we'll go over these a little bit when we can work some of the stuff if it's useful to you. But this is what he looks like. You're seeing why he looks very much like Gilgamesh more with this sort of thing. But he is very much like, it's I fight for my people, with my people, on the ground. I'm not gonna go into his actual lore, but he's also immortal, aside from one spot. So that was his, yeah, like, that might give you a little bit of an idea of how bullshit this dude is. I love this dude. There's a lot of cool lore for him now, too. Now that, the story for him has progressed a bunch. Shitless man and mouth, mouth open. I mean, he is hot. I did not pull for him, sadly, but he is hot as fuck. And there is him going into his state. I just, yeah. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of, like, kinda what he does. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe that is a idea reference point as well, and go look up the Divergent Universe stuff that he offers, as well, because a lot of that's like, when you would expend a set amount of health, go buff everyone or yourself, and get really cool stuff from that.
Gammon awaits you. Go. Very well.
That's why I was like, if you want to do the sun health stuff and strength, would be interesting to do health sacking instead of like mana or mana slots or spell slots or whatever. And do things around that, just as a kind of, I guess, unique thing. Means that you have to balance a little bit more on a finer tip. Like, again, going to the using Escanor mentality with it, I would almost argue, like, the higher the sun is, the more health you can use, but the more damage you can deal. And then at night, instead, it's like, you can't use health, you're kind of set on your damage, but you can give, like, more general buffs or something like that, right? Sundowner from Metal Gear Rising. Still Lasana, so buffs user plus 1 ally. Give me a good idea. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, actually. There you go. Yeah, no, you got ideas. And yeah, as Roger said as well earlier, like, feel free to post in the Discord an idea or even ping me going like, hey, I want your opinion on this idea. Because I try and respond as frequently as I can, and if I don't, it's because I looked and then I forgot to respond. It buffs defenses, weaken attack. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, instead of now sacking health, you now become more defensive during the night. So you become more, you go from being like, during the day, your frontliner fighter damage. During the night, you're, like, Giga Tank. Right? And Giga Tank and, like, more wider, sort of, like, general team, I guess. Yeah, I think that's an interesting play pattern you could play around with. Alright. Shall we go say hello to Lawrence? From accounting. Now the question I'll put in is, do we think that we need to, like, count how many deaths? It's already too late, really. I've kind of mixed in the Lawrence deaths with the main deaths. Someone would have to go and figure it out. I'm not gonna bother then. It's just gonna go into the normal death count. Magic shield for both user and ally. If user's shield is broken, ally gets twice the defense. If allies is broken, get more attack. Yeah! That sounds like a solid one. So it now creates this real interesting, like, mixed range of what you're doing. You're either buffing your tank or you're protecting your squishy, and it's very, like, situational how you're gonna utilize it. Creates a very cool play pattern. Excuse me, buddy. Alright. Lawrence from accounting, I've come to bargain. sneak in the light skill tree. The guy who gives those abilities would never sneak. Yeah. Like something that could hurt you if you're using it and return the buffs of protection. The abilities I made up could also land in enemies' hands. That's actually another good point to be made. Yeah, like, who has access to the ability list that you have? Because if what you're saying there is to be taken, so enemies could also potentially get what you're doing, would you really want to face it? Because that's one of the things TTRPGs often have, is like, technically there's nothing unique to a player. Most of the time, everything is universal. So with that being considered, like, it is, you have to think about play pattern at that point, right? And that's a balance argument, where it's like, would you, as a player, enjoy playing against this mechanic? Now, it's okay to make unique-only mechanics for specific characters. Like, that's very common for, like, very, very niche case scenarios. Say, blessed by the sun, sort of thing. So you get a special thing because of that. Stamina. Bros, could you stop fucking spamming the same move? Okay, that fucking his goddamn knee hit me in the face, I guess. Oh, I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. Okay. He decided to only do a 2-hit combo for some reason. Fucking... Oh my god, you're actually just frustrating to fight. Huh. Let's see, also by your own words, I want to focus on making abilities that, like that for other guy, never have those, so God of Anxiety, his abilities for saving allies as an irony. Skill on RPG Maker, they're called Die Hard, and made it so the first time in a fight your HP would go to 0 and 0 remain. Oh, I mean that's sturdy or endure, however you want to word it. Right. I don't know what people are used to. I normally call it endure. But I know, like, Pokemon, it's called sturdy. Well, the equivalent is kind of called sturdy. All that, right? But yeah, I normally just... If you hear me say, oh, it's an endure mechanic, that's normally me referring to a you survive a lethal blow. Oh my god, his timings for some reason just... Okay, wow. I'm getting worse at his timings. Actually forgot they had it in Pokemon. Yeah, sturdy. There's 2 versions of it, and then there's also the item, if I recall correctly, right? There's Focus Sash, which does the same thing. But yeah, like Magnemite has sturdy. Sturdy gives you... if you're at full health and you would take damage equal enough to take lethal, you would endure it at 1. Then you just have a berry that full heals you, and then you play Recycle build on it, which was funny. And be at level 1. Think he killed you faster than the Orphan? If you're counting travel time, no. If you're counting just after entering fight, then yes, because literally the Orphan wouldn't be able to attack at that time. The user says in 1 turn, its HP is set to 1 no matter what. That's different, right? So, look up Gunbreaker in Final Fantasy XIV. There is a skill that does that. They have for themselves specifically where it's set HP to 1 but become invulnerable for a period of time. The point of that is because Gunbreaker is a tank, you do that to resist something if you're kind of lowish HP, but you warn your healer in advance. So they can do a maneuver and burn, like, not burn really good healing on you, but it means that you can theoretically tank significantly over your normal marker. That actually did a lot more damage than I thought it would. 300 damage for something that's basically kind of useless in this fight. Really awkward for me. Could you? Your attack cycle seems so fucking inconsistent. Never played, so wouldn't know. Yeah, that's why I say look it up. It might be a thing for it. If you're one shot anyway, might as well go to the absolute edge. Yeah, well, it's because there's also, so there's 2 types of like main attack that exist inside of Final Fantasy raids. There's what's called the but specifically we'll refer to the Tank Buster one, right? So there's two different ones you have to deal with. One's basically, think of it like this. One person gets targeted. The more people that are in the area, the more, like, the damage is spread a bit more equally. Whereas there's ones where there is damage on each individual, and it will stack up with the others. So the more of you stacked up will take more damage. Tank Buster is that first one. Tank Buster normally cannot be just sitting a solo tank, but Gunbreaker can say, fuck that, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna be honest, I loved the Gunbreaker by the end. It was one of my favorites to play, and I would play it pretty, I hate this so much. I'm gonna be honest, it's just because I have to deal with that fucking door every time that's tilting me even more. But, like, that's why I say, don't even make it a consequences later thing. Like, just straight up make it a, no, whoever's the target of it, they drop to 0, but go invulnerable. So then it's an interesting, but obviously, like, make it not actually just absolute 0, maybe? Because then you could either make it a ruling of it doesn't have to hit an ally, which would be an interesting thing, is, okay, we're making the boss, like, tanky for a turn, or, like, invulnerable for a turn, but then afterwards we have an easier time killing it. You could make it so it has a requirement of health threshold, to get the full effectiveness. That's why I say, like, you could make it just do a shitload of damage, and then make them invulnerable, but can't do lethal. Give me a name for an ability. Passive that makes a character be resistant to melee if they face a character with anti-magic. My dear is a symbol of grief, but it makes not much sense. That makes the character be resistant to melee if they face a character with anti-magic. What? Wait, you might need to explain that a bit more for me to get. Like, so if the character... So the character itself is going to be more resistant against melee. In what situation? When anti-magic is used? Or like a counterspell? Or are we talking someone that, like, that's why I'm like, I'm a little confused on that one. Oh, Lawrence, I hate how hard it is to get to the accounting firm. With anti-magic, is it, like, is that an effect that they will have on them? Like, are they affected by a thing saying anti-magic? Does that mean they're more resistant to magic? Does that mean, when anti-magic, they cannot use normal magic, so it's a counter, it's a silence, okay. Well, I guess I have to go and find it out type thing. So, if the target is silenced... Oh my god, I pressed attack instead of fucking dodge. They're not even close on the controller as well, don't ask. let's see. There are anti-magic beings in the world that, yes, can cast silence and are silenced themselves at all times. When facing those, you resist melee. Okay. What is the theming of the names, then, of that? Is the next thing I'll ask. Like, kind of what name do you want? Do you want abrasive? Do you want grandiose? Do you want fantasy? Do you want... Because, like, thinking on that, like, I've got ones where it's just... Anxiousness? Like, stand against, or something like that is the... Like, stand against something is what I can think of. Like, I got grandiose names, but, like, that's an effect that I don't think justifies a hyper-grand name. Because, like, there's stand against fate, but that's really not what I would call stand against fate. On your right! Unwelcome proximity. I don't know if I like... yeah, I could see that being working. That's why my idea is symbol of grief, but there's no context to their name. But yeah, like, that's why I say, like, it's because that's very clearly standing against someone in a bit more of a middle ground thing. My question then goes, is the names got anything to do with overcoming said, anxiety, or no? Embracing it? Then... I mean, I'll be honest, this is one of those ones where it's like, it's not even the naming's hard, it's that I'm trying to do the naming while fighting one of the more, like, frustrating bosses in the game. So I'm, like, in the middle of fight, and I'm like, name, I had something a second ago, wait. single one of those. Charge attack's just not worth it at all. Reduce damage against non-magic opponents. Okay, what random throw out one? Dulled will, dulled pain. Because magic is theoretically colorful and creative, right? So, therefore you're anti-magic, so anti-color, anti-thing, so dull world and then dull pain. Very basic argument there. Dull world, dull pain. I don't think that's that great, but it could work. At least as a foundation point for discussion. While it sounds embracing, it's not, like, overly positive about said, thing, right? Oh my god, could you fuck off? Because I'm assuming you're, like, doing the names almost as a way of telling the story as well, which makes the naming scheme a bit harder. Well, that's what I often do myself, at least. When I'm doing naming for a character, I'll try and tell some form of story with it. So much more difficult for me a lot of the time, because names have so much meaning in my eyes that it's really hard to suggest for another person. But that's the sort of thing, right? -2 healing for Spice, I'd like them names to mean something. I mean, what I'd say is, like, okay, write out a really shitty, like, 2-paragraph tale of kind of what is going on with what you want the skills to tell, then start trimming away all of the stuff that isn't the essential words that define the moments. That will help frame, and then just thesaurus the rest. I'm gonna be real with you, cheat. Thesaurus is your friend. Look at words and analyze from there. That's if you want something like that to work with. Okay, I can run past that. I have never attempted to. Now I've attempted to. There we go. Good to know that I can run off to that left side at least, or something. That makes that a little bit faster. But like the tale doesn't even need to be of the character, right? That's the beauty of it. It needs to be of the tale you're telling with the names of the skills. That didn't hit? Oh, you bitch. I dodged! I dodged! Alright, fuck you too. Like, stand your ground is a pretty common shout you hear in fantasy. Hold your own damn ground makes it sound kind of annoyed at allies. So what makes it fit. Yeah. Can I stress how sick of this run I am? This is actually one of the worst boss runs in the game, if not the actual worst boss run in this game. But I cannot stress enough how much I'm sick of specifically this fucking up to the goddamn door run. Like, I absolutely fucking hate this. This is what would make me quit this boss, not the fucking boss itself, it's the run. Another tree I have, nothing in besides ultimate ability is the World Arcana. You already know what the ultimate ability of that tree is based on the ability. Oh yeah, let me. Do you want me to say the name? Because I'm pretty sure I can say the name of what that Arcana would be, right? I'm gonna say this in advance. You might want to take off headphones. All right. Okay. Just. Nice calm, and Za World Tokyo Tomore! Alright, there we go. You're warned. You have no right to complain about that fucking audio level. I'm pretty sure I actually peaked that mic like several times during that. correct? Wow, who would have fucking guessed? By the way, I want it known, you couldn't see that shit because the model didn't catch all of it. I fully acted out all of the hand animations. Everything full energy. Can you... It's worse because he's in the way. I know he's in the way of the door and I'm not going to be able to get... Now I can get past him. And now he's being an asshole. Hopeless determination? Yeah, that's another good one. Don't get your dodges right. Fuck you. I hate this fight because this is a fight that's just, oh, hit him once or twice with basic attack. Do nothing for like a minute. Repeat process. Oh, then he just hits you with something and you're dead. Then you have like a 2-minute run back to him because you have to wait like 50 fucking seconds for this one fucking door. God, I hate this fucking piece. Again, boss fight wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't such a... I didn't get tilted just getting to the motherfucker. My goddamn weapon's at risk. I'm not even gonna fucking ask what happened there. Oh, cool, I'm dead. Been writing extra from the I plan that after players get a big win against the antagonist, like killing his pawn or destroying an operation, the villain will send them a gift basket with congratulation card delivered by reanimated dead body of their friend. That sounds awesome. I like that. I'm not gonna do the fight again. I'm just gonna kill something so I can get some souls to go repair my fucking weapon. I need more than that. Bitch. You missed. Alright, roll 1d6, rolls become a shield, for you and one ally. When the shield is broken on the user, shield on ally breaks as well and gets 25 damage. When shield is broken on the ally, shield on the other user also breaks and gives the ability to attack twice per turn for 4 turns. Usable once per encounter. Wouldn't it not be better to phrase it as gain an additional attack on their turn for 4 turns? If you're gonna be adamant about how that mechanic would work, would it not be better to just have it as a addition, not a, not strict? There is a reason why I say that. Because what happens if you get something that would increase how many times you attack? This is the Bran and... sorry, give me a sec. It's not channel, mate. You get the Bran situation in, Hearthstone, where people misunderstand what, battle cries trigger twice means. If I have a battle cry trigger twice, and then another card that says, your battle cries trigger twice, how many times do my battle cries trigger? Keep in mind, battle cry in this context is basically like on cast effect, or on ETB, but ETB only from cast. But it's basically the point becomes it triggers twice. It triggers twice. That's it. That says specifically your battle cries trigger twice. Those don't overlap. If it said your battle cry triggers an additional time, then that means you could get multiple. That's the point I'm making. A very shitty point, I know. I'm But yes, I am adamant about fucking up Lawrence's day. I'm gonna be tilted the whole time because of this fucking trip. Also keep in mind, at the moment we say, you know what? I don't want to fight Lawrence. You know what that means? We just have to fight the final boss. We don't have anything else. Can I get an idea for the World Tree's activated ability that still steals turns in some way? But it's not just time stop? Sure, give me a mo to think on that, actually. So it's not just a time stop, it steals turns. Is that, like, does that give it to you or your allies? I assume just to you if you're talking about the way the world should be. Right, it should be super, greedy. Like, if you're even, like, slightly basing it off, good old Dio, it has to be super greedy. But Stolen Time, I feel, is a little too boring, right? Avarice of the Ageless? You're on the right track, I think, with that one. I don't know if you want ageless as the term there. Maybe more... I hate this game. I really fucking do. Goddamn. Just no, never give it to an ally. No, that would just ruin the idea of it. The ultimate just gives it to you. Only ever gives it to you. Never give it to other people. From both a balance perspective and a thematic perspective, you could never do that, because that makes it way more funny. Fuck it, make it steal it from your goddamn allies, too. See, all of the every character's next turn is yours now. So, like, the bigger the fight, the more turns you get to take. I mean, you could literally just have it time revolves around me. Or something along that line. Oh, God damn it. I'm not dead this time. I'm not gonna lie, that would be such a so fucking potent ability where it's just, hey, Lamau, hey, I'm gonna just take like 12 turns in a row. Thanks guys. I mean, or you could just go do Domain of Time, right? Like, if you want to also have just a not so over-the-top one, but like also a very grandiose kind of titleage for it, where it's just like, I'm so fucking... This is my domain, and it is the domain of time. Right? You gotta have one thing, by the way, and that's just time's approach. Oh, you're approaching me, bitch. Gluttony of the passage of time. Nah, that's way too silly. That's just, I mean, Time's Devourer is not a bad shout either, I guess, based on that kind of name. Or Devourer of Time. I hate this fucking AI. Sometimes he just has a fucking, like, I'm gonna take a holiday. And then other times he's, hey, Lamau, I'm gonna do 6 fucking combos back to back. Then all one shot. somehow curve around in a way that shouldn't. Fuck, I hate him. It's hard to think of fiberglass in your fingers. What the fuck, devil? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. It's the god of anxiety, so it's more edgy silent. I mean, that's why I say, like, the problem you've got with a World Arcana is that it has to be... No, okay. You're telling me that the anxiety-filled teenager kind of energy you're asking for, you're telling me that there aren't anxiety-filled teenagers that aren't sitting in the back of the class like, I am so much better than all of them here. I can command time itself. I am the ruler of all that. You're telling me there isn't that shit? Like, no, you have to agree that, like, that, dude, just look at Eminence of Shadow. That is exactly there. Do that for the World Arcana. Make it the most edgy, egotistical bullshit there is, and that's the theme for that one, because it's just so on point. Because it's inside of their own world. You like that one? I'll give that to you for free. Lawrence from accounting didn't like the word free. That's the wrong thing equipped. Ah, cool. I didn't realize that that was that attack. My bad, I guess, Chief. Music's great and all, but I'm just like, eh. So, it's fine in some sense. I mean, some sense. I'm very done with this fight. Fine, fuck. This has to be the work of an enemy stand. Quickly introduce you to what the name of the basic ability of the World Arcana is, then. TWOWTMC. Okay, well, the World of War Crimes trademark copyrighted. Make one opponent lose their next action. Opponent can resist by rolling a 1d8 plus their magic stat. Good lord, that is a hell of a fucking name. So, no matter what cry you put, you hired a sing during as well? Yeah. No, the fight itself is so boring. And the run to it is so tilting. Like, it's literally just Vicar Amelia again, but like, just tankier and with fire. Like, this isn't a creative boss. This is actually one of the most least inspired bosses of this entire fucking game. Like, even the shit ones were like more inspired, arguably. Like the witch was at least an idea. It was a bad one, but at least it had an idea going for it. This motherfucker's just, hey, what if we do this one boss fight, but fire? Oh, no, no, Vicar Amelia, sorry. Fucking, what's his name again? Cleric Beast. So you remember the Cleric Beast? The thing you probably killed a little too fast because it kind of just sits there and eats ass? Could you? Fuck off! Oh, now it's at least a little bit more interesting. Cool, now it's zone fucking control game. I fucking hate this boss. I hate it with goddamn passion. It's so fucking stupid. Alright, where the fuck am I? Let's see. One Direction could be, playing in the background. I'd still be more engaged by random crap in chat than this. Yeah! Yeah, no, I understand that feeling. If a WoW player is my basis as to who the Anxious God is, you know, then forgive me for not making them a ponderous asshole like Dio. No, okay. Well, I agree with you, Banky. You can't deny there are those edgy motherfuckers that inside of their own head, and you have an arcana called the world. You're telling me that any introverted inside their own brain, in their own world, isn't like, I am God. Like, outside, they never speak. But inside, on the inside, in their own world, they are the fucking worst kind of person. And that is what you could do with that Arcana. And that is such a creative and funny idea. It sucks. I mean, you haven't, not even reached the true clusterfuck that's the bosses. Oh, yeah. No, now that we've broken his fucking kneecaps and he falls over and he's just like, cool, zone control game, let's go. Take your ally's turn for yourself. If an ally wants, they can resist by rolling a 1d6, plus their magic stat. I mean, you could have that. That would be kind of funny. One way of describing a second phase. I mean, at least it's not a recycled boss. That's not a high fucking bar to be able to accomplish, but that managed to accomplish it. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. This boss is just actually such a fucking awful time. I like, the worst part is I feel super justified in my complaints because everyone's saying, nah, it's shit as well. So I'm like, I'm just digging into this one. What a huge compliment, I know, right? Well, at least you ain't a recycled boss. It's better than fucking WoW. Strategy for this boss. Just constantly suck its dick and swing and dodge when it looks like it's about to hit you. Okay, sure. Fuck you, bitch. Somewhere in Canada where he's just smiling from your compliment, considering you have the Moonlight Sword for second phase. Go exclusively for long-range moonbeams. You know what? Yeah, actually, I will do that when we get to phase 2 next time. Fuck this dude. I ain't fighting him on the ground. The motherfucker's gonna be a little shitbag. I'm gonna be a shitbag back. I have died like 20 times to him as well. That's the more irritating part. It's such... Dude, the fucking run to him is longer than the boss fight. Like, even if I was to win it, it's still just not worth the feeling of misery that is running to this motherfucker. And it's primarily just because of this one fucking door. Like, the rest of it I could argue, but I have to wait for the door to fucking open each time. Then I hope that this dude gets out the fucking way. Without clapping my fucking cheeks with a goddamn axe that hits 7 miles away. You can run past as they fight. No, you can't, because he sometimes sits in the doorway, so you can't even roll through the motherfucker. That's the problem. Like, that's the point I'm making, is you can't get past it easily. You can't do it while they're starting the fight, because he's in the doorway in between the fucking points, because the door doesn't open fully, because go fuck yourself. Blood Beast Pallet. You know what? You've got a point. I'll give you that. I agree with the Blood Beast pellets. I don't know why I've not been doing them. Alright, this is already a good start. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Looks promising for a run back. I know, right? Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to roll past that because his knee will be too far in the way. And now I have to wait for this, and now he's going to be stuck in position for a little bit. I don't think I'll be able to. Oh, no, I can slip past. Cool. There we go. Because whether you'll help yourself, go help you, go fuck yourself. I remember that line. Go to the shop. Get yourself some Viagra. Fuck yourself. Oh, cool, I'm dead. I'm just gonna put the type in now. Oh shit, I ain't. Oh, well, I've already typed in the death for when this fuck up happens. Do the moonbeam correctly. It'd be this, right? on this weapon. God damn it. Damn it. Yeah, okay, well, I already put the one in. Should I make the stealing allies turn double-edged sword, like you take their status effects off them? No, so what you could do for that is you have to note down whose turn you're taking, because they will then still have status effects tick on their turn. So you don't actually save them from like a DOT. But it means that DOT is a double effective against you guys, right? Because if you have it that way, it means that if you take a turn, you're still taking a turn, and they're still taking the damage that they might take on their own turn. That's how you go. But I agree, Devil. It's fucking... I hate this fight, man. I really do. This is just irritating. So evil. Oh, yeah. Now it means that they're like, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna fucking resist you stealing my turn. Eat shit. Because it also means you apply that same argument to enemies. So enemies also get affected by DOTs. Right? It actually creates a really interesting synergy if you ever abuse that. You probably won't, but now a situation has occurred. Oh, I hate everything you stand for. I hate you, I hate your family. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cat.